Hello, everyone, and welcome to another cooking class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies for the Moms for Wellness program. Today, we're going to talk about vegetables, my favorite topic, right? And how can you make vegetables better, more delectable, also for them to last a little bit longer in your refrigerator, what kind of combinations I suggest. And the menu is we're going to stuff some bell peppers with quinoa and butternut squash and some of the veggies. And we're making a quinoa with broccoli. And we're also making a quick Brussels sprouts very quickly saute with some herbs and some light vinaigrette. Why I'm so passionate and excited about talking about vegetables, because I really think that a plant-forward cuisine is going to be the future, and it is, including more vegetables in your diet than animal products, because vegetables and plants are alive and are the ones that give us the most nutritional value, more than animal proteins. And besides that, is give us so many other things, and that help us in the different process of our body, digestion, elimination, purifying our blood, our liver, and to support different hormonal processes as well. That's why I talk about foods for better moods when you're pregnant and even when you're not pregnant. So certain food has chemicals and phytochemicals that will help you stimulate the production of happy hormones. So my name is Chef Dulce Jimenez, and I am a health coach and a professional chef, also a cooking instructor, which is my favorite part of my job. And I'm the owner of Dulce Aromas. I have been working with Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies for about 4.5 years now in these programs that are focusing on healthy pregnancy. We're helping you to eat better during pregnancy, to feel better, and beyond. So let's start talking a little bit about the vegetables I'm going to be using today. Brussel sprouts, right? These are like little cabbages, and a lot of people don't like them, but they are amazing. They can be transformed in anything you want. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to use them in a dish. Butternut squash. When you look at the color of the vegetables, each color means something. Deep yellow and orange vegetables, like carrots, orange bell peppers, like beets. I don't have beets here, but beets, butternut squashes, and I don't recall all the vegetables that are yellow. But they have a lot of beta carotene, which is vitamin A. They're good for your hair, your vision, for the skin. Also, deep green vegetables like spinach. I have spinach. I have used spinach for the stuffing of the peppers. Spinach and kale. Broccoli. I love broccoli. Broccoli deep also is a deep green vegetable. And zucchini is white and green. Zucchini has a lot of water, more water than any other vegetable. So you get to be a little bit careful when you're with zucchini, because zucchini can water your food very easily. Okay, there are vegetables that are called aromatics, and those vegetables are the ones that usually they are used in cooking for making the sofrito, for give flavor. And those vegetables are very nutrient dense as well. Red onions. Red onions are full of vitamins and minerals and enzymes that are good for you, that help you with a cold, with digestion, so many things. So I love to use red onions mostly, more than even the yellow onion. Mushrooms, I love mushrooms. Mushrooms, you can use them in stew, you can make them in burgers. Today, I'm not going to use mushroom, but I did use mushroom in the previous class where we stuffed chicken breast with mushrooms. So mushrooms are very meaty and umami. So for soups and stew, they're amazing to give you that meaty flavor and earthiness that sometimes beef can produce. So I always have portobello mushrooms because I use them. I just grill them and put it in my sandwiches or in the mornings with my eggs, but you can use them in everything. And also aromatics are could be fruits like citrus fruit, like you know, this is a Persian lime and lemon, and of course garlic. Garlic is another aromatic that we use at the beginning of cooking mostly, and is also to give flavor, but they have nutrients as well. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you are using garlic in powder, or you buy garlic that has been processed and is put in a jar for you to use forever and ever, it's not the same as buying the fresh garlic or buying the fresh onion that you haven't cut. Once you cut the vegetables, they start to deteriorate. They start to lose some of their vibrancy and flavor, and also vitamins and nutrients. It's not only the flavor, but also the nutrients. So when you're purchasing produce, buy them whole. You peel them, you cut them, and you prepare them. Once they're already cut, you're mostly getting water and fiber, which is great, but you want more than that. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is herbs. Herbs, such as basil and cilantro, scallions. Herbs are the underdogs of the vegetables. People don't look at herbs like they will look at a mushrooms or an onion or a garlic. People usually don't use them at the max and don't give them credit. They are amazing when you use them with vegetables that you don't like that much. For example, like the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, they have this very deep cabbage taste and a little bit bitter. But when you cook it properly and you add some basil and a little bit of balsamic vinegar that we're going to do today, you know, the flavor is mellow and mixed, and you put a little bit of garlic as well. And you can taste those flavor combinations. And it's very different than when you eat and with them raw or just like that. Another amazing vegetables are sprouts. Not a lot of people use sprouts. Very few, and I am very surprised even when people that are vegan or vegetarian that they like vegetables, they're not using sprouts. Sprouts are like, how do I call sprouts in a way that really make an impact? For me, sprouts are like the babies of all plants. All plants have sprouts, and when they are growing, that's where the nutrients are really potent, you know, because it's helping the roots and the plant to grow. So sprouts has so much nutrient in a small package. And you can find sprouts of a lot of vegetables. You can find also microgreens, which is kind of sprouts. So they are now done in a greenhouse, which are managed better. They're not in the field, in the dirt. So they are grown kind of in labs, but I don't want to call it lab because it sounds like fake. But sprouts are like, there are farms of sprout. When you go to the sprout farm, the rows of like trays growing, you just put the seeds and that seed grows, and those little sprouts at the beginning of the plant, when you eat that, you're getting that intense nutrients from the plant. So I like to also use sprouts in my juice, my green juice, and also in salads. Okay, so let's start making the stuffed peppers because they're going to be in the oven for about 20 minutes. And I love to use bell peppers for this. I'm going to take a little bit of the bottom of the pepper so my pepper is stabilized. Okay, write that, very little. And don't throw this away, you can use. And I'm gonna take a little bit of the other one. Just, I make them flat, okay? And I'm going to take the core of the bell pepper out very carefully with paring knife. I have a cabbage here. You can also take a little bit of the top, so it's easier. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a little bit of the top. I like to use as much as I can from the pepper. So, but I'm gonna take a little bit of the top. Okay, and don't throw this away at all. Just throw away the core, but not the rest. You can cook with that. Okay, so I'm gonna cut around the pepper, the inside. Okay, very carefully because I wanna try to leave it as more intact as possible. Okay, and here as well. Awesome. And if you of the seed is fine. Okay. Okay, so vegetables are easy to make in every preparation. You can stuff them, stir fry them, bake them. You can, you know, make them in lasagna, in stew. You can add them to your meat as well. However, vegetables should be treated with a little bit more delicacy, so you keep their flavor and their nutrients intact. So I don't like to cook my vegetables a lot. Of course, this is the stuffed peppers, you need to cook them. I'm gonna cut a little bit so they're kind of the same size, but you don't have to do this, you know? They can be regular, it's fine, but I'm gonna cut a little bit and I can use that for the other preparations that I'm doing, okay? So here you have it. I have my pepper ready to be stuffed. I don't pre-cook them or do anything with them. I like to just bake them with the stuffing inside. Some people bake them before. but I like it. Okay, so I'm going to get a baking pan, or baking platter, and I'm going to add a tomato sauce that I make. I usually keep it in my freezer. This is like enchilada sauce. It has herbs, spices, onion, garlic, cumin, a little bit of nutritional yeast. So I'm going to, like a lasagna, I'm going to put the sauce in the bottom. And I like my peppers saucy. I don't want them dry. So you can put as much or as little as you want. Okay. And I'm going to stuff it. Okay. And this stuffing is a mixture of quinoa, spinach, of course, onions and garlic as always, and some steamed butternut squash that I already have, and red beans for protein. So this is a great mixture. You can make this, you can cook the quinoa in advance, then saute the vegetables, the aromatics first, onions and garlic with the spices, with the cumin, coriander, and a little bit of sweet paprika if you want, salt and pepper. And then you add the beans, the butternut squash, and at the last, the quinoa. And so I'm going to take some of them and stuff my peppers. You can have any leftovers and use it for your peppers. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to put a basil leaf in the bottom of my pepper. So that will hold the stuffing in place and also will give flavor. You can add also a piece of spinach. Okay. So I'm gonna put, you see the basil inside. Now I'm gonna stuff it. If you want, you can put a little bit of small teaspoon of the sauce in the middle. I'm gonna put a little bit of, these are fire roasted corn. And I love the sweetness of the corn with the basil and the tomato sauce, which is a little bit spicy. And here you have so many great vegetables. Push it a little bit so you can put everything. Oh, wow. Look how awesome is this? So I stuff it, super easy. You can use leftovers. Stuff. And you put it in the sauce. And if you want, you can cover with the other color of the pepper. The other pepper. So you have the yellow with the orange cover. Okay. So let's fill out the other one. Let's add a little bit of the sauce in the middle, just a little bit. The corn. So you will have some layers in there. Okay. and finish stuffing it. Oh my God, it smells so good and we haven't even started cooking it. Okay. So here you have it. This is the second pepper. And I'm going to put the top. You can put some cheese if you want, but I prefer not to. Or you can put nutritional yeast as well. Okay. Isn't that cute? So here you have the stuffed pepper. That is a meal. That is a complete meal here. So it is amazing how easy is this. When you create any stuffing, and even if you have like leftovers, rice and beans and some ground beef or ground turkey, you can stuff pepper and have some kind of sauce. You can even put it with broth in the bottom. It doesn't have to be a sauce. So we're gonna put this for 20 to 30 minutes in a 400 degrees oven. And we're gonna see later how it looks like. So our stuffed bell peppers are in the oven and I leave them uncovered for 20 minutes. Then I will check them. If I need to cover, I cover them and leave them another 10 to 15 minutes. Now we're gonna go and start making the Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts are so versatile. You can eat them raw, but not a lot of people like them raw. I love them no matter what. I love them raw, cooked, plain. I just, you know, steam them a little bit in salted water or just, you know, cook them lightly in salted water and eat them like that with hummus. It's amazing. But I want to give you some alternative when you are not very fond of them, right? First of all my vegetables, I cook them very lightly. I don't cook them and then soak them in cold water like most chefs recommend. So chef recommend for you to put them in boiling water for a few minutes, take them out, and then put them in a bowl of cold ice water to stop the cooking process so they're crispy. Nobody wants soggy vegetables, and I understand that. But the process that I make is if you double water them, I don't like that. You take flavor out, and for me, you might be taking nutrients as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. Some nutrients are not soluble in water, but I prefer to keep them crispy and not water them down. So I create a flavor water, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. So I have here, you know, filter water. I'm going to boil my water and I'm going to add aromatics. So before I start cleaning the Brussels sprout, should have started with that. So I'm gonna add a little bit of onion, small piece of onion. You don't have to cut it. You can leave them whole because it's for flavor. So it's easier to take out when you leave them whole. So you can put 1 or 2 pieces of the onion, just like that, and you're gonna put it in your water. Okay, I'm going to add some cilantro stems. I don't care if I did the cilantro stem with the vegetables, but if you don't want the cilantro stem with your vegetables, you can put them in like a bag made with cheesecloth, which you can buy in the supermarket. But I really don't care. I actually love cilantro stem. So I'm gonna get the cilantro stem and chop them very small. And this is how I make my clients' vegetables when I'm making it for to eat like that, just plain, or even when we're making it like in stir fry, I still pre-cook them for a few minutes to preserve their color. And so now I put the cilantro, or maybe scallions, or you can put a little bit of basil, whatever fresh herbs you want to use. You can put it in the water. And now I'm going to put garlic. This is the easiest way that I find to peel the garlic. I know people so many ways, but I think I find that it takes me more time to put it in a bag and to do all these things. And I can crush it in my little efficient mortar with a little bit of spices of your choice. I have here cumin and coriander. Or you don't have to put any spices. You just have to, you can just put the garlic and the herbs. And okay, I'm mixing the garlic with the spices in the mortar. So here you have it, and I'm going to put it in the water. This is what is called in French cuisine a court bouillon. I'm making a court bouillon, or a flavorful broth. Okay, and see it there. Okay. And of course, a little bit of salt and pepper. So here's my court bouillon getting happy. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And it has any aromatics you want to put, really will be fine. I have garlic, the stems of cilantro, and 2 large pieces of onions. Why I left the onion large and big pieces? Because I really want to take the onion out. That's the only thing I want to take out. But the garlic and the spices, I don't mind. Okay. Once it's boiled, you're gonna start, you know, tasting that it has some flavor in it. It's like a vegetable soup. Yes. If you don't have hypertension or preeclampsia, none of those things, make the water pretty salty. You want the water pretty salty. So when you taste it, you can taste the salt. So that's why I put about 1 or 2 tablespoons of the salt, which is not going to, salt your vegetable, honestly. It's just the salt, the water that is going to be salty. Okay, now I'm going to finish preparing our Brussels sprouts. So you cut the end of the Brussels sprouts and the top a little bit, just to release those leaves that are not pretty. And I want to leave mine whole. I love them whole, but you can cut them in half as well. If you're going to bake them, you should cut them in half and bake them, you know, the top part down. But I'm going to quick steam. Well, it's not steam, it's more, you know, boil, saute, but because it's going to be so quick, it's going to be about 2 to 3 minutes. Excuse me. Okay, so I have my court bouillon boiling, and this flavorful liquid that I'm going to use to cook my vegetables can be left for cooking all the dishes or for making soup. So we're not throwing away this liquid. We're using We can use it even to make a sauce. You can reduce it and make a sauce, put a little bit of olive oil, even make a dressing if you want. So now I have my Brussels sprouts ready. They're clean, and oh, there's a few ones that have, okay, those not nice leaf. Okay, and I'm going to boil them for about, 3 minutes, right? And you can see that there's not a lot of water because, again, I don't want to, water them down. I just want them to cook slightly. Okay, and you can start looking at them. They start getting greener as soon as you put it in the boiling water. So while my Brussels sprouts are cooking, I checked the stuffed peppers. They already have 20 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees. And what I did is I took them out. I put a little bit more of the sauce on top, cover them with aluminum foil, put it back in the oven, and increase the heat to 450. So now they are covered. The heat, it has more heat. They're going to cook a little bit longer, soften. I like them, I don't like them too mushy or like chile relleno, some kind of a dish that is very common in Mexico and a lot of other countries. I like it more hearty, that you have to cut your pepper and it's like a vessel. So this has been for about a minute or two. You can test it, but I can tell that they still need another minute. The way you test it is you pierce them with a knife. You see it's not even going in, so they're still too hard. You can taste the water. Going to be pretty intense. It's pretty salty. If you're going to use it for sauce, don't put too much salt. So if you're going to use it for broth or for other cooking purposes, it's okay. But if you're going to use it to make a sauce for the Brussels sprouts or for other vegetables, don't make it too salty. Okay? So I'm going to make quick sauce for my Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of olive oil into the container when I'm going to serve them. And I'm going to add balsamic vinegar. So 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of balsamic. I'm actually going to put it here in a bowl where they were before. I'm going, remember, dressings are usually better to make in a bowl, and so you can dress the vegetables better. Then you can put it in. So I'm going to add something sweet to balance and counter balance the flavors of the Brussels sprout. The Brussels sprouts has a little bit of bitterness. So I have roasted red peppers that I bought organic in a jar, and I chopped them small, and I'm going to put them with the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar. And now I'm going to put herbs. I'm going to put basil, plenty of basil. This is going to be like a vinaigrette. So a lot of people like to put too many things to the vegetables and never really taste them. My goal is for you to give them a chance and to try them as natural and as simple as possible. And then you judge them, right? And when you make them at home, and you know how to make them better and flavor them, you will start learning and get the taste of them and make your own choices and decisions. The majority of people, sometimes when they try a vegetable and they didn't like it once, that's it. They never try them again. Or they have tried it once and they liked it, but they never done it at home. Or when they try it with cheese and, you know, and sauces that are covering the true flavor of the vegetable. So my goal is for you to try them as natural as possible. So I'm going to take one out. I'm almost sure that is already done, but let's recheck them. I'm gonna cut it in half. Still a little bit hard in the core. Oh, I love Brussels sprouts. I can eat them just like that. It's very hot. I can taste the garlic. There's still a little bit, so it's something maybe 4 minutes. So in the core, they're a little bit bitter. That's why you want to add things that are sweet. And you can also add raisins or cranberries to them. You can add some nuts. What I like, this is a very simple one. This is balsamic, and I have some balsamic glaze, which is a reduction of balsamic vinegar. It's a little bit sweeter. You can put a little bit of honey or maple syrup as well. So I'm mixing. This is a very simple marinade with herbs and spices. So you can really taste the flavor of the Brussels sprouts. And as I said, you can cut them in half so you don't have those big chunks of Brussels sprouts, but I love them just like that. And they last a little bit longer. So you see, I'm not putting them in any other water or anything. I'm gonna leave them with that flavor. Yeah. Oh, they smell so delicious. If you're eating them for the first time, I truly recommend that you cut them in half. And then you get small pieces. Okay. Okay, so now that they're hot, I'm gonna mix them with the dressing. Put that here. In serving. And you see the colors, you know, it has the red of the pepper, the basil. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and a few more sprigs of basil. You want to have a little piece of basil with every bite. So you get that sweetness and fragrant flavor of the basil. with the Brussels sprouts. Okay. And you can put a little bit more of the glaze on top. Here you have it. Isn't that cute? I really love Brussels sprouts, and I hope you try this recipe. And again, I think you're gonna love it as it is, but if you kind of convinced, you can reduce this more, like half or even a quarter of the liquid, put a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil, and then drizzle it on top of the Brussels sprouts. Okay, let's go to the last dish of the night. So I'm going to use the same water for our next dish. And I'm gonna talk about my favorite broccoli. I love broccoli, guys. And broccoli, you can put them in everything as well. You can make it with rice, with beans, with chicken, stir fry. You can, bake broccoli. You can steam them. You can do whatever you want with broccoli. But let me tell you something very important. You eat the whole broccoli, not only the florets. Some of you have told me that you only use the florets. So try to get broccoli that is deep green. When you buy them in the supermarket, make sure it doesn't have like blemishes. Like some of them get like white or purple, or make sure you look at them. And what I do is I separate the florets from the trunk, but I use the trunk as much as the florets. And the trunk, you can also use it like with cabbage and make like slaw. You can put it in your sauce and in your soups. So any like really dark spots that are not like looking good, you can just take them out with a knife. Okay. I'm gonna put the florets separately because the florets, they don't need a lot of cooking, like a minute. The florets are done in a minute or so. That's why I always separate my florets from the other part, but please, 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 please don't throw away the rest of the broccoli. Okay. So here is the part that most people throw away. This is amazing, actually. Broccoli soup with a little bit of cheddar cheese is amazing. And the best, you can even save the trunk and in the freezer and then use it for soup. You can make a broccoli and cheese soup. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the top and the bottom so I can stand up my broccoli. This is very hard. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut all around. I'm going to, like a pineapple, take all the hard skin and I'm gonna keep the core of my broccoli. Look at this. This is edible, guys. It takes a little bit more time to cook, but this is the trunk of the broccoli, peeled. You take all this, same as a pineapple. You take all this out. You can save this for soups, but this one I usually don't use. I don't have a lot of space to save it. And I don't do a lot of, I don't do actually, although it's one of my daughter's favorite, the cheddar and broccoli soup. I don't do it a lot, unfortunately. So I'm gonna do the same. I cut the top and the bottom. If it's too long, I cut it in half as well. And then it's easier to manage, right? I wanna make sure it can stand up, and then like a pineapple, I'm gonna cut all that skin. And I use the core. This gets tender and it's actually amazing. You can eat it like asparagus. Here you have it. Okay. One last one. Cutting the top and the bottom. If it's too long, I cut it in half so it's easy to manage. Okay. Like all the part area. Boom. Got all that. Okay, last one. Okay. In the same water, because I'm just doing broccoli and Brussels sprouts. If I will do any other vegetables, like maybe cauliflower, I would not put it in the same water because the water is a little bit green with the Brussels sprout, but because it's broccoli, I don't mind. So I put my water again, and I'm going to slice, make little batons or batonettes, little slices of broccoli. Okay, that's my timer telling me that the stuffed peppers are ready. Okay, so here I have little batons of the core of my broccoli. You see, you have plenty there. Let me check. Okay, so my water is boiling again, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the broccoli core first, because it takes a little bit longer. If you have to put a little bit of more of water, you know, go ahead, put a little bit more water. I'm gonna leave it like that. So I'm gonna wait a second there. So I'm going to make that broccoli mixed with quinoa and corn. You can add black beans. So you're gonna make like a Tex-Mex salad. You can use it for stuffing a taco or a enchiladas. So I'm going to add a few spoons of the quinoa, about a cup. Let's see how much broccoli I have. Oh, I may do it all then. I have plenty of broccoli. Okay, I have the broccoli. I'm going to add some onions, the onions that I was using, red onions, a lot of flavor. And this is like a raw and cooked salad, so it has a little bit of everything. I'm gonna add some of the peppers that also we were using. So I have raw red onion. Okay. The yellow peppers that we were baking. So you're using all the vegetables. I'm gonna cut it in little slices, little dices. Dices. Nothing goes to waste. When the vegetables are going a little bit bad, if you have a lot of aromatics like onions and garlic and herbs and things like that that are going bad, you just blend them in the food processor and freeze them, and you can use it for cooking. And the peppers, you can freeze the peppers as well. Look, I'm using all the pieces of the pepper that I took to bake. I'm cutting it in little pieces and put it in my broccoli and quinoa salad. Okay, so now this more than likely is done. But let's check, because this takes a little bit longer. Same process, you can check by cutting it, or using a knife, and you will see if it's done or not. So good. Just like that. I can taste the concentration of the cilantro. So good. I hope you try it. So I have quinoa, red onion, bell peppers. I'm gonna put a little bit more of the onion. I love red onion, and I love it raw. Raw and cook, whatever. So a little bit more of the onion. If you don't like the red onion raw or any onion raw, you just have to saute them a little bit with the garlic. Or you can put it in lemon juice or vinegar. So I'm gonna put scallions. I love scallions, family of the onions as well. You can put chives as well, oregano. So this is more Mexican or Latin, I would say. Any of those flavors. Okay. Cilantro. You can just use the leaves, or you can just or put it all. I love cilantro, so I'm gonna put the whole thing. Cilantro. Always, always use fresh herbs. And I love to combine the fresh herbs together because I have a little bit of the basil. I'm gonna put a little bit of basil as well. Or I can leave that basil to put on top of my stuffed peppers. Okay, I'm gonna take the steamed broccoli. It has to be ready. And the water is going dry. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. Okay. Oh, and they go with all the flavor. Okay, so now I'm going to very, very quickly saute the broccoli florets. So I already took the stem of the broccoli, which is already cooked. I add a little bit more water to my court bouillon or flavorful water. And I'm going to flash steam the florets. Okay, because I want the florets just to get that vibrant color, and so they don't taste too raw also. And some vegetables, when they're lightly cooked, they are more nutrient. They have more nutrient, like their enzymes or something in their chemistry so that makes them better for you, but very slightly, not to cook them completely. And you should have raw and cooked vegetables in your meals. So here we're making the salad, the quinoa salad with the broccoli. And I have about a cup and a half, almost 2 cups of quinoa, diced yellow pepper and red onion, scallions and cilantro. And I'm gonna put the corn that was left over. So we're using everything, nothing goes bad. Those are roasted corn. I buy them frozen. They're really, really good. And then you just defrost them or saute them. And wow, look, what an amazing salad we're creating here. Okay. And I'm going now, these are a little bit cool. You can chop them or you can put them just like that. I'm going to chop them a little bit more. They have all the flavor from the water. Okay. I'm going to chop. These are the stem of the broccoli, which we cook a little bit. We cook it a little bit longer. They are amazing. Look, I'm using all the stems, putting it in the salad. Never, never throw that away, please. Okay. And the florets lightly cooked. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to get them out. You can put them in paper towel or in a tray with a towel, lint-free towel, so you don't get them too wet. See, that was like a minute. Doesn't take too long. And when you wait for them to get colder or you know, so they're not that hot, separate them, because I'm gonna put it in the salad. I want to separate them so they get cooler faster. Cut them a little bit more. I'm gonna cut them a little bit more. When you're making salad, all the vegetables and everything that is inside the salad should be cut about the same size. So I didn't want to cut it too much because I was going to put it in the water. But once they're out, you can cut them a little bit more. So you don't have humongous chunks of broccoli in your salad. You want all the vegetables in your salad same cut. Okay, now I have smaller cuts. Now I'm going to make the dressing. Okay, so I'm going to add, this is a cumin vinaigrette. I'm going to have some lemon and lime. I take the tip of the lemon and the lime out so it's easier to juice with this hand juicer. I'm gonna choose about 2 lemons. I love lemons, so. And I'm gonna put a little bit of rice vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar, red wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. I just happen to love this combination. So this is a citrus dressing. So about 2 lemons. So you have about 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. You can add a sweeter citrus like mandarin orange. So you give the sweetness. This is a very sweet mandarin orange. So it gives that sweetness, that sweet touch to your vinaigrette. Actually, I'm not even going to put the vinegar because I have plenty of juice in here. So I'm not going to put the vinegar this time. Take some of the seeds. Okay. I have some crushed garlic in here that I keep in my fridge. So very, very tiny crushed garlic. I'm going to put it in my vinaigrette. And the formula for the vinaigrette is 1 part acid, something acid, and 2 parts oil. So it's usually, if I have 2 tablespoons of an acid, like an orange juice or a lemon juice, I should put 4 tablespoons of an oil. So it's 1 part to 2 parts. But I like to make mine equal parts. So if I have about, I will say 4 tablespoons of liquid in here, this is a lot of vinaigrette, I'm going to put about the same thing, about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to eyeball it because I know. Okay, I'm going to put some pepper, some salt, and cumin. This is what's going to give the flavor. This is homemade fresh cumin that I grind myself. It's amazing. Now I'm going to mix it. And I'm making it here in a bowl, but I will not put it all in my salad. I'm going to check my salad and see how much it needs. This is a salad that you can dress before you eat it because it's going to, you know, absorb all the flavors and it's going to be good tomorrow. But I don't like to put a lot. Then I can, you know, the moment I'm going to serve it, you can put a little bit more. I'm going to taste it. Oh yeah. I can taste the garlic and the cumin and the mandarin orange gives that sweetness, which balance out the lemon. Doesn't need anything really. Okay, so now my broccoli is cold. I'm gonna add it to the rest of the salad. This is more than a salad. This is a very hearty dish. So I'm gonna mix it. Wow, look at this. How amazing. It has corn, it has quinoa, it has cilantro, scallions, red onions, yellow peppers, which was the leftover from the peppers, and you're not doing anything now. You also use a little bit of the corn for the stuffing of the pepper, the same onion. So you're using the same vegetables in all the preparations. Amazing. So now I'm going to add, I would say 1/4 of this. Yep. It's gonna get even more flavor. Wow, this is fantastic. Look at this. Here you have it. So here you have it, kind of a Tex-Mex salad. This is fabulous. You can eat this alone. You can eat it as a snack. You can eat it with a piece of grilled chicken. You can eat it with, you know, whatever you want, a piece of salmon. And, you know, you can also make a few things in advance to make it easier on the day of serving. Okay, so now we're going to take our stuffed pepper from the oven and we're going to see all the dishes together. Okay, so now we have all the components of our salad, our quinoa and broccoli salad with corn, onions, and peppers and herbs. We have our lightly steamed or boiled Brussels sprouts with roasted peppers, basil, and a light dressing with balsamic and olive oil, salt and pepper. And we have our stuffed peppers. Look at this. They're soft. They're amazing. We can put a little bit of the sauce on top. They were there for about, for 40 minutes. First, they were uncovered. Then I cover them. And I'm going to put some more of the basil. You know, we eat with our eyes, so things should be pretty. And also the flavor of the basil. I don't know, should we put a whole basil? You put a whole basil in there and then you cut it. You can also put a little bit of the balsamic vinegar on top. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt, of pepper, and I'm gonna serve the salad. And what I was going to tell you is that for the salad, remember we talked about sprouts at the beginning. So I'm going to get the sprouts and put them in the bottom of my plate. I'm gonna cut it or just turn them with form them with your hands. And I'm gonna put it like in the bottom of my salad. And this is a cooked salad with also some raw ingredients. This is fantastic. Quinoa is a seed, but you can use it instead of rice or oats. You can use it in savory or in sweet preparations. So you have our class for today. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you make the recipes. Make sure to check the other videos that I have in YouTube that will complement these dishes. I have some shrimp or salmon if you want to not make them completely vegan or vegetarian, or just eat it like this. Look, all the vegetables that we have and all the flavors that you're going to encounter in this. This is different, tangy and sweet and spicy and fresh with some of the raw ingredients and the cooked ingredients. So this is going to be a lot of flavors in your mouth. And if you try this combination at the same time, wow, you're eating like 10, 12 different vegetables, and they're not covered with oils or cheeses or sauces. And so you give them a chance to talk to you and to indulge you and to nourish you as they are. So that is my goal, and thank you for being here again in another class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. Hope to see you in the next cooking class in January. If not, you can come back again and look at the other classes that are posted in YouTube. Thank you, ladies. Good night.